Hello, everyone, and welcome to BMC Helix Live, our special mini podcast series recorded from the BMC Helix Roadshows as we travel the globe with our No Limits tour. I'm your host, Samantha Hudson dos Santos Vergara, and today we're talking to you leading up to our London Roadshow this week. I'm delighted to be joined by Tom Hockton, who works closely with customers across the region to help organisations transform the way that they deliver IT services and operations through using BMC Helix. Today, we'll be discussing about service ops, AI, customer transformation, what we're showcasing here in London, and what's next for BMC Helix. So, Tom, welcome to the show.
Sam, delighted to be here.
So, to kick things off, could you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, your role at BMC Helix, and what you do day to day to focus?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, look, I've been in the BMC Helix ecosystem coming up to a decade now. So I've spent a couple of years in the channel at the start of my career and now celebrating my 8th year at BMC Helix, which has flown by. And in that time, I've probably done about 6 different roles, which has kept me on my toes, but it's been really exciting at the same time. And right now I'm leading the Northern European sales business, working with enterprise customers across the UK, Ireland, and the Nordics. And on that note, huge congratulations to both England and Norway for getting through to the quarterfinals, and they're playing one another on Saturday. Obviously, my allegiances are somewhat conflicted in that I lead both regions, but my heart really is with England. So come on, England. Is it dangerous to say it's coming home? Yes, but am I going to say it anyway? Absolutely. Also on that note, a big thank you to the BBC for no spoilers this morning. I wasn't one of those that stayed up till 2 a.m. Unfortunately, I haven't got the stamina, but I was delighted that this morning there were absolutely no spoilers and it was a cracking game. In terms of my responsibility, people often think that sales is just about selling software, but in reality, our job is to understand customers' biggest operational and business challenges, help them navigate change and connect them with the right people, expertise and technology to solve their business goals.
Fantastic. Great lead up. So, just on to service ops. This has become a key topic for organizations looking to modernize their operations. From your perspective, how are customers embracing service ops and what changes are you seeing in the way that organizations manage services across IT and the business?
So look, I think the first thing to note is that most organizations don't go around saying we need service ops as much as I absolutely wish they did. They're trying to solve real world business problems, whether that's rising expectations from employees, from customers, whether it's pressure to reduce costs, or just navigating increasingly complex IT environments. And what we're seeing is a recognition that managing services in separate silos just doesn't work anymore. So if you think of an incident in IT, that can quickly lead to an impact in customer experience, can lead to downtime in operations. It can have a big impact, negative impact on revenue. Yet different teams we find are often using different tools and processes. So the conversation, I think, has shifted from optimizing individual teams to asking, well, how do we manage the services end to end? And that's really what service ops is all about. It's bringing together IT, operations, and the business. So everyone has the same view. Automation spans across functions and issues are resolved faster. And the organizations that we work with that are making the biggest progresses are the ones that are breaking down those organizational boundaries. They're thinking less about departments and more about the experience that they deliver to their employees and their customers.
Absolutely. So transformation is never without its challenges. What are some of the biggest obstacles organizations face when moving towards a more connected service ops model?
So yeah, there's a number of challenges. I'd probably try to highlight 3. The first is legacy. Most organizations don't start with a blank sheet of paper. They've built up different tools, processes, and ways of thinking over many, many years. So bringing that together inevitably takes time. The second, I think, is organizational, because service ops naturally cuts across IT, operations, and the business. So the success of it depends on teams working together in ways that perhaps they haven't done before. And that's often more of a cultural change than a technical one. And finally, and this is a really big one, there's the proving value. So every organization has a very long list of transformational projects competing for investment from within the business. So they have to really show measurable outcomes, whether that's faster resolution times, better employee experiences, or lower operating costs. They need to know that they're solving real business problems and that they're not just implementing another platform.
So just on the value conversation, without naming any customers, are there any success stories or common themes you've seen that really demonstrate the value of service ops?
Absolutely. Yeah. We've seen organizations transform service delivery by automating routine requests, giving employees much better self-service capabilities, and inevitably that frees up IT teams to focus on much higher value work. So rather than focusing on mundane, repetitive tasks, they can focus on the things that really matter. One example, a customer reduced incident resolution by more than 60% through automation. And in healthcare, which is a sector that is very close to my heart, we've seen organizations improve service levels, which directly, supports frontline staff. This was huge during, COVID, and it continues to be huge today. But one NHS trust in the Northeast achieved a 90% improvement in paperless SLA processes, and it massively increased its adoption of self-service, I think by about 400%, which is crazy. But the outcome of that was that they delivered over £1 million return on investment within 3 years. And when you've got clinical teams relying on technology every single minute of the day, those improvements ultimately contribute to much better patient care. And Sam, that's probably the most common thread across all of our customers. Technology is clearly important, but the real value comes from giving organizations greater visibility, more automation, better insights, so that they can spend less time focusing on issues. In the case of a hospital, that's really important, and more time delivering outcomes and delivering value to their employees, to their customers, and to the business.
Absolutely. And automation is key. It's definitely a game changer. Okay, so I want to move on to my favorite subject, and it will be for the next 5 months, is we're here today to discuss, firstly, London Roadshow, which is coming up in a few days' time. What are some of the key highlights that attendees can look forward to?
So the roadshow is my favorite time of the year.
Me
Really,
too.
really look forward to it. Whether you're a customer, there'll be something, or a partner, there's going to be something for everyone, I hope. We'll be showcasing the latest innovations across the Helix platform. We'll be talking a lot about AI, as everybody is, but really focusing on how organizations are using AI to help them to work smarter and to respond faster. You'll hear directly from customers, which is really what it's all about, and the challenges that they've solved across lots of different sectors. You're going to get the chance to get really hands-on with our experts, connect with peers, which is always, important, and also have a bit of fun. But, ultimately speaking to peers that are facing different, and similar challenges. Last but not least, our partners, they're going to be a huge part of the day. So they'll be sharing specialist expertise, implementation expertise, and solutions that they themselves have built to develop and help customers realize value much faster.
And obviously, you know that as a company, we host a lot of webinars. I know I do a lot myself, but there's something different about being there together in person. Why would you think that the roadshows today are so valuable?
Webinars are fantastic, Sam, for sharing knowledge at scale, but nothing, in my opinion, replaces being in the same room as one another. So roadshows give us that opportunity to spend time together, to have real world conversations, understand unique challenges that customers are facing, and ultimately just explore ideas together, have conversations. It's in those conversations often where you're just having a coffee during the break or over lunch between sessions that you get the biggest breakthrough and you build relationships.
So, if someone leaves the event with one key takeaway, what would you like that to be, Tom?
Well, Sam, I'd love people to leave, the roadshow feeling inspired, but more importantly, confident that transformation really is achievable. So whether it's one idea that they come away with, one new connection that they've built during the event, a practical takeaway that they can implement when they get back to the office, if we've helped any of these organizations move one step forwards, then I believe we've done our job.
Okay, looking beyond the London event, how do you see the rest of the year shaping up for the BMC Helix and also our customers?
I think we're entering a really exciting period. Organizations are under more pressure than ever to modernize, improve resilience, and drive better experiences, but they also need to do it much more efficiently. And AI clearly is becoming a key enabler of that. And we're seeing customers move beyond experimentation into real world adoption now.
Excellent. And what trends or innovations do you think will be the biggest impact on service ops, ITSM, and IT operations over the next year?
I think we'll continue to see organizations accelerating transformation journeys. And as I just touched on, I think AI is going to play a much, much bigger part in moving from experimentation into real world business value. Customers are also looking to automate more. They're looking to drive resilience. They're looking to give their teams better insights to make faster decisions. And at Helix, we're continuing to innovate across the platform to support all of those things. And I'm really excited to see how we help customers turn ambitions into tangible outcomes over the coming year.
Excellent. Now I'm going to address the elephant in the room. There's been a lot of interest around Montagu, new investment with BMC Helix and the ownership. What does that mean for our customers?
I was wondering when that question would come up, Sam. It's a great question and naturally one that we've been asked a lot. From a customer perspective, the message really is one of continuity and confidence. Our commitment to supporting customers, investing in innovation, delivering against our roadmap remains completely unchanged. So, in fact, I believe, and I think many will agree with me, that Montagu's investment reflects confidence in the strength of the Helix business and the opportunity ahead. And for customers and partners, it's really business as usual, but hopefully with the added confidence that we're really well positioned to continue investing in the platform, in our people and in the ecosystem for the long term.
I mean, like with yourself, I'm really excited. And obviously for customers listening today, how should they think this change or think about the change when it comes to stability, innovation and long-term value?
I think my message to customers is simple. It's stay focused on your business goals. The thing that matters most, our commitment to innovation, product roadmap, supporting organizations and our partner ecosystem, that remains totally unchanged. We'll continue to work alongside customers and help them to modernize service and operations management, and we'll continue to help them to deliver long-term value from the Helix platform.
Excellent. Exciting times ahead. So finally, if there was one message you'd like every customer and listener to leave with today, what would that be?
I think if there's one message I'd like people to come away with, it's that transformation doesn't have to be really overwhelming. With the right strategy, the right technology, but also importantly, the right partners, it's absolutely achievable. And hopefully those of you that attend the Roadshow will see that firsthand and hear it firsthand. And at Helix, we're committed to helping customers every step of the way, not just by providing innovative technology, but building really long-term relationships and partnerships, focusing on delivering real business outcomes. And if customers succeed, ultimately we all succeed.
Excellent. And Tom, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your insights. Thank you to everyone that's listening to the BMC Helix Live. If you are attending one of our No Limits roadshows, we'd love to meet you. Come and speak with our experts, experience the latest innovations in BMC Helix and discover how service ops and AI is helping your organizations transform the way they work. Until next time, thanks for listening, and we will see you on the next episode of BMC Helix Live. And for many of you, we will see you in London. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.